In this video, we're going to solve one more problem from that worksheet from class on the chain rule. So this is number 6. So number 6 gives us a differential equation. The equation y double prime minus 4y prime plus y equals 0. Now a differential equation is an equation where the unknown that you're looking for is a function, not a real number or set of real numbers. And the differential equation gives you some information about the function and some of its derivatives. So in this equation, we're told that the function we're looking for, y, has this property where the second derivative minus 4 times the first derivative plus the function has to equal 0. And in this problem, they tell us that a function of this form, y equals e to the rx, could be a solution, and if it is, they want us to find the values of r that make it a solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that our solution looks like this, y equals e to the rx. We're going to find the first and second derivative, and then plug it into that equation and see if we can figure out what r has to be. So the first derivative, using the chain rule, we have a natural exponential function, e to the u, right? So the first derivative is e to the u times du dx, and the derivative of rx is just r. So the first derivative of y is just r times e to the rx. Second derivative we're going to get by differentiating the first derivative. And the first derivative is r times a natural exponential. So let's pull out that r and then just differentiate e to the rx again. So that's e to the rx times r. So the second derivative turns out to be r squared times e to the rx. So now putting all of this into that equation, remember the equation says y double prime minus 4y prime plus y has to be 0. So putting in y double prime, which is r squared e to the rx, minus 4 times y prime, which is r e to the rx, plus y, which is just e to the rx, all that has to equal 0. All right, so remember we're solving for r. So looking at that, we see that e to the rx appears in every term in that sum. So I can factor that out, and then I get e to the rx times r squared minus 4r plus 1. And that product has to equal 0. So a product of two real numbers is 0 when at least one of them is 0. Well, e to the rx can't be 0. That's always positive. So it has to be that r squared minus 4r plus 1 is 0. Now that doesn't factor, but we can use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula says r is equal to negative 4, which is positive 4, plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1. And that's all over 2 times 1. All right, so if I simplify that, I get r is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 3. All right, so we found all the values of r for which the function y equals e to the rx is a solution to the differential equation. You will see more differential equations, a few more this semester, and you'll see a lot more in Calc 2, and you'll see even more if you take Math 294, which is an entire semester of differential equations. All right, I'll see you in the next video.